Now, let's compare static versus instance members. Here is the difference between static and instance variable. That are, static members belong to the class and are shared among all the objects, and instant members belong to each object separately. On changing a static variable affects all the objects, and changing an instant variable only affects that object. Now, let's see the code for each to compare. Let's create a class called tracker. So we will write class tracker, and then we will write curly braces. Then we will create our static and instance variable. So we will write static int static and then count is equal to, let's take as 0. In the same way we will create for instance. So we will write instance and then our count is equal to, let's take it also as 0. Now we will write tracker and then we will close this with curly braces, and we will increase our static count with the increment operator with plus plus, and the instance count too with the plus plus, and end this with semicolon. Now we will go to our void, and so we will write void display and then parenthesis with curly braces. We will print this by writing system.out.println in parenthesis. In quotes we will write static and then count, and we will put colon with the plus sign, and we will write static and then our count, and again in quotes we will print our instance and then count in the same way, and we will use the quotation also. So let's put the quote and then we will write our plus sign, again instance and then count. Now we will close this with the semicolon, and we will go to our main method. Here we will write tracker, let's take it as t1 is equal to new tracker, and then we will close this with semicolon. Then we will display it using t1 dot display, and we will end this with parenthesis. In the same way we will take for 2 more trackers. So let's copy and paste and again paste, and let's make it as t2 and here as t3. Now we will display this. So let's copy and paste it. Let's copy and paste it one by one, and let's make changes here. So let's write t2 and here as t3, and now our code is complete. So let's save our file. Save, right click, run as Java application, proceed, and you can see static count instance count 1, static count instance count 2, and static count 3 instance count 1. Now what we did here, we have a class called tracker. It has static variable as static count, which is shared among all the objects, and it also has instance variable, the instance count, which is unique for every object. Now, when we create the first object T1, the both static and the instance count increases by 1. When we create the object T2, the static count becomes 2 because it is shared, but T2's instant count is only 1. Same for T3. The static count keeps increasing across object, but the each object's instance count starts from the 1. So the output clearly shows the difference. Static variables are like one common copy for the entire class, and the instance variable are separate for every object. So alright, today we covered what the static keyword does, how static block works, and the difference between static and instance member. Remember, use static when you want something to be shared across all the objects. In our next session, that is day 17, we will go deeper into inner classes and anonymous classes, making your Java code even more powerful and flexible. So, see you soon there.